Alright, and welcome back to another video section. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how you can create your online courses and online sections, and how you can create an online section that has classes in them. Alright, so this is important that you understand the difference between all these particular features. You can create an online course, alright, and this course contains classes in them. You can create an online session, which is something more personal than a course. Alright, I know you understand what a section means, and you can create an online section that has classes in them. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through the steps on how you can create these three things, and I want you to stay with me while we do that. Alright, so to create this particular items, all you need to do is to navigate through the menu. You can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth menu tab right there, which says courses and sections. When you click on it, we have a drop down, and in this drop down we have the add new, which contains other drop downs. Excuse me. We have the add new, we have the all courses and all sections. If you click this, you get to see all the courses and sections that you have in your platform. We have the managed categories and we have the invoices. All right, so when you click on the add new tab right here, you can see we have another drop down menu which contains online course, training section, and training section with classes. All right, so when you click on the online course, you get to go to a tab where you can create a new online course. When you click on the training section, you get to go to a tab where you can create a new training section. And when you click on the last one there, which is the training section with online classes, you get to go to a tab or a page where you can create a new training section that contains online classes. So I'm going to open all these three sections on new tabs. I'm going to right click and open a new tab. Right click, open a new tab. All right, so let's see what it takes to create a new online course. So I want you to work with me here. Let us minimize this particular sidebar. Okay, I think that doesn't work on this page. Doesn't matter. So let's go ahead. So to add a new online course, we have 4 steps that we need to go through. All right. The first step which includes the course and the basic information about the course. The second step, which is the course options. The third step, which is the scheduling, and the fourth step, which is the instructors. All right. So the first thing we need to do is to give our course a name. Now let's call this test course. All right. So let's give this course a short description. This is a test course on this is a test course. All right, so that is a short description, and then we have to give the course a detailed description now. All right, now let us give it a more detailed description. This is um a test section of me teaching some sorry, what was that? All right, sorry about that. I think I clicked the wrong button. Of me teaching my friends how to create an online course on Flex. All right, so that's a detailed enough. Is enough detail about the course I'm trying to create. So when you're done, entry this is just an instance. This is just an example. All right, so this is just an example, please. So when you're done giving a detail about the course you're trying to create, the next section there is to give an introduction. All right, an introduction about the course you're trying to create. This is optional. Okay, I'm just going to copy the text I have in here, just so we don't leave it empty. All right, and paste it in here. Okay, so let's just give it a heading of introduction. All right, so that is an introduction, a short introduction of the course, like giving the students, a prospective student, exactly what the course intends to cover. That is what you get to list in the introduction. Right under that section, we have the cover image. All right, so where you can put like an image that your students get to see. or like your potential students get to see when they want to create, when they want to access this particular course. All right. So it's important that you put uh, a nice image so that your students will get to have their spirits high when they want to purchase this course. All right. So I'm going to search my local memory, and okay, when you click on the browse button, it takes you to a place where you get to upload an image that is already available in your file manager. All right, so I told you the file manager is where you get to store files that you want to use in your platform. All right, so I do not have any file in my file manager right now, so that is why when I click on the browse, there are no pictures that I can choose from. But I'm going to try to, but I'm just going to leave it blank. All right, I'm just going to leave it blank for now. All right, so maybe, okay, let's see if I can okay, I'm just going to leave it blank. All right, I'm just going to leave it blank, and then you can see it's optional. So if you don't want to add a cover image for the course, you can as well leave it this way. All right, so when you're done setting up all the details that are in here, you just click on the next button, which brings you to the next stage. Now you can choose the first option. There says, is payments required? You choose yes. Obviously it's not going to be free. So the course fee, 14 hours, 14 hours, all right, 14 hours in 4 weeks. All right, so that is 14 hours per week to get this course exhausted. All right, so we get to choose a course category for our course. All right, so we have a list of categories here. You get to choose from any of these ones. So I'm going to choose the personal growth category. You can choose multiple categories if you want. Okay, it can be under more than one category. All right, so after you've chosen that, you can choose the status of the course. I'm going to put it as enabled so that my students can, so anyone that visits my website can get to purchase the course. But if it is on disabled, the course wouldn't display on your website, all right, on the course section of your website. So I'm going to choose the enabled option because I want this course to be live immediately. So the enable discussion tab, you choose yes because you want your students to get to discuss about this particular course that you're creating. All right, so the next section there is create live chats. Do you want this particular course to have live chats so that you get to talk about it live while the students are using the course? Yes. If you don't want that, you can choose the no option, but I want this course to have it. All right, so you can choose to enforce class order, which means that the students will get to go through each class before going to the next one. They can't skip a class. If you want this to be the case, then choose yes. If you don't want your students to follow a stringent hierarchy of classes, you can choose no, so that your students can just switch between the classes at any time. All right, so you can, I'm going to keep this as yes. Actually, I want everyone to follow the rules. So the next section there says enable students forum. I'm going to say yes. You can select the capacity of students you want to take in. I'm gonna leave this empty because I want it to be unlimited. But if you want a maximum number of students, you can choose that by entering the particular number here. You can choose 40, 45, 40, or whatever. All right, so you can choose to enforce capacity. That is when you put a given number here. Let's say I put 40. You want to make sure that when the number gets to 40, no other person gets to purchase this course. All right, so if that is what you want, you put in a capacity here and choose the enforced capacity as yes. But if you don't want this, you delete this and then you put it as no. All right, so when you're done filling these details, you click on the next button. So on the next section, we have to choose a date when the course goes live and a date when the sales of the course goes off. All right, so you choose a date when the course starts accepting students and the date when the course stops accepting students. All right, so I'm going to choose that. When you click on this, it brings up the date tab. I want the students to start as I want the course to start accepting students on the 25th of this month, which is from tomorrow, and I want it to stop accepting students on the 20. I'm just going to give them 1 week, so I'm going to choose on the 31st of this month. All right, so let's just say that's roughly a week or so. So, and these details are optional actually. All right, so if you want your course to be there for like forever, you can just leave this particular section empty and move to the next section. But for those of us who might want to apply this particular section, you can do what I just said. All right. So on the enrollment closes option, you can choose a date when you want enrollment to be closed for good. All right. So after the course end date, which is you might want to give a day or two extra, you can choose a day or two extra by selecting it on this particular enrollment closure section. All right. So when you're done with this, you click on the next button. Now on this section, we need to select an instructor for this particular course. We have a list of instructors right now on this particular section. All right. So when you log in, you can create a list of instructors for your section, and it is optional. If you leave this blank, then the admin will get to be the instructor for this course. But if not, you can choose any of the available instructors on your platform. So I'm going to choose this one. As you can see, we can have multiple instructors for each course. All right. So if you want to have 5 instructors for each course, you can select all 5 persons right here. All right. So I'm going to leave these 4 instructors for this course. And when you're done, you click on the next section, on the finish section. Now, as you can see, we've exhausted all the steps, and now we need to click on the finish button. All right. So I'm going to click on the finish button, and as you can see, our course has been created, and now we need to create a class that will be attached to that course. Remember, I mentioned earlier in the previous video that each course has a class attached to it, so that when a student purchases any course, they can get to start going to classes. All right, that's why I say this is an e-learning platform. It's more like the regular classes that we have offline. All right, so we're going to create a new class, or we're going to choose from the existing classes. But I don't have any existing classes because I've not created a class before. So I'm going to create a new class for this particular course. All right. So to do that, you enter your class name. I'm going to call this test course class 1. All right. So if you want to include a test in this particular class, you just select this test required checkbox, and then below that you get to see they select these options if you want to force students to take a test before they can complete the class. Yes, I want them to take a test. So the required test, you're going to select among all the tests that you have created. All right. So you select, let's say I select this particular test. You can create your test by accessing the test section in the sidebar of the text of the dashboard. All right. I'm going to show you how to do that later on. So you enter a brief description of this particular class. All right. I'm going to paste what I copied from the previous section, and you enter an introduction to this particular class. I'm going to paste this and call it introduction, just like I did before. Introduction to your first class as a student. All right. So I misspelled this. I'm going to correct it. So that is it. So I'm going to add a class group. All right. So all the classes are grouped. So if you don't have a group for this particular class, you can leave it blank. All right. So you can sort this class